Hello there, I'm Big Pezza, and I'm going to do the little quick review on The Long Way Up. Available exclusively to Apple, and it's caution, it's in 4K. Well, I guess seeing Charlie Borman in 4K, that's pretty scary. Look, I'm going to just say from the get-go, spoiler warning, this is a review, but I do recommend that you go perhaps watch it if you've seen the other two. And it's something that if you enjoy motorcycle and travel and you want a taste of what electric motorcycle life will be like when we travel on them, then you can watch the entire series for free if you sign up to the 7-day free trial on Apple TV, then cancel it after like I did. Anyway, let's start with a brief summary of what happens in, well, the series.
Machu Picchu is.
Oh, yeah.
Machu Picchu's about here.
So the first episode takes place over several months of them planning the route, sorting out bikes, logistics, and even...
Rivian have actually offered to give us 2 brand new prototype pickup trucks.
Now them support vehicles are very nice, and yet the whole thing is about how electric is the future. Whether we like it or not, we're just going to have to learn to accept it. Of course, the bike of choice on this trip is Harley Davidson.
Because of Long Way Round and Long Way Down, I experience a sort of zen-like experience when I ride a bike anyway, because I spent so many hours riding them, and it puts me in a sort of trance in a way, and I love it. It's my meditation, I suppose. And that experience of being on an electric bike just made me feel even more like that. So I think this is the way forward.
Do they get the bikes manufactured on time, and do they get the Rivian trucks done? Well, yes, they do, but spoiler warning, of course. But yeah, at the end of the episode, they're landing all their kit and getting everyone to the bottom of Argentina to start the trip. So episode 2 consists of them getting used to what they've got with them. So a couple of electric Harley Davidsons, they got the 2 Rivians, 4x4s, and that company also provided some charge points along the way around Argentina and further up, which is very handy, especially as they don't have the proper electricity infrastructure in the towns and villages they were going through. And along with a black Sprinter van, which is a diesel, and along with another pickup truck holding a diesel generator. So... oh yes, and I don't forget about Claudio riding his motorbike, which is a petrol Harley Davidson. By the end of episode 3, you realise that they're going about 35 to 40 miles an hour max to squeeze every last mile out of a battery just so they can keep moving. By the end of episode 3, I had range anxiety.
This, I think, is the septic system for all the buildings around here. I just walked over there and we're coming back to check the bike's charge, and that's the pong I'm smelling, and this is the septic system. And this is my tent. Septic tent.
It's nice to see that they were roughing it a bit in episode 4. You get a couple of breakdowns and some little problems, and they weren't staying in 5-star hotels all the time. I guess you could always make the series a bit more interesting by playing a drinking game. Every time they say, oh, miles to go, battery, range, take a shot, you'll be dead in 30 minutes. Episode 5, 6 and 7, it starts to get into a bit more of a pace sort of thing. It gets a bit more interesting with things that do off the bike. It's not until episode 8 where we get some real nice juicy disasters. Look, it could have happened to any modern bike with computers. This sort of thing is a big problem, and I don't like motorbikes with a million computers where you have to be able to plug them in, If you're going to build a motorbike with a computer, you need to have some sort of way to be able to do things using like a wire and a mobile phone, essentially. I don't think it needs to go to a dealership to get repaired. This is like the one problem we have with all bikes. They just need to sort that out so that you can do very basic things, revert firmware, etc., etc. This bike broke down because of a firmware failure. Thinking back to the original series, if I was looking at a motorbike, I would consider, BMW or KTM? I'd probably go with the BMW. In fact, I did go with the BMW. Not because of the long way round, it just happened to be in case. But as you know me, if you know me, you know that I don't care what bike I'm on. I will enjoy riding, I will enjoy travelling on it. So I wanted to see this series and just kind of sell me on electric bikes. But it was this moment right here, when I saw them having to change the battery, how much stuff they had to take a part off the bike to change the battery. Yowza. I wonder what the repair bill is going to cost for man hours on that. Episode 10 is Scrap Heap Challenge, and also most of, well, a good part of episode 11. And then they do a nice recap of the entire trip. It did feel a little bit rushed, perhaps. They only did it in 100 days, all them miles. It's still a very good thing to watch, and I do recommend you watch it. But unfortunately, it has not sold me on electric motorbikes yet. But as a commuter, I'm coming round to the idea, but I am definitely more sold on the Rivian truck. I mean, look at this thing. It's beautiful, and it can do tank turns. Amazing. Definitely sold me on electric cars. Not quite there on electric bikes, but I would definitely consider building my own. Anyway, that's the review. Thanks for watching. Catch you next video. Ciao.